Hello, YouTube. My name is Kareem, and I'm going to be talking about the FIFA World Cup update number 4. So, I'm going to be starting with Portugal versus Uzbekistan. For me, Portugal really showed their attacking talent, and the use of the fullbacks was nice to see them going forward more. For me, Vitinha still is having a disappointing tournament, and I'm liking the way Joao Felix is combining with Cristiano Ronaldo to Joao Felix is there to help link up the play and to get the ball forward to Cristiano Ronaldo. And for me, Chris, for me, the goals from Cristiano were very nice. The near post finish, and today was an example of how Ronaldo can thrive on service when the ball is getting delivered to him. And Portugal I need to play more with their fullbacks and be more of an attacking team. Even when there's a low block, they should try to play play for play up higher up the field more and try to create more chances. The next game I'm gonna talk about is going to be Congo versus Colombia. Colombia Colombia was very dominant in possession, and for me the midfield was passing the ball nicely. I they ne- DR Congo never really looked threatening on the counterattack. They at times there was a through ball, but it was dealt nicely by the defenders. And and for me, this Colombia team isn't as isn't as attacking as isn't as attacking thre- isn't as threatening as it used to be in the Copa America. But for me, the problem is with Colombia is James Rodriguez looks lost playing on the right wing, and he doesn't seem to be thriving in that position. So I would like him to see maybe in a more cam area, and maybe they put on another another winger. But for me, Luis Diaz got unlucky with the amount of offside goals. I mean, he would have scored a hat trick if it wasn't offside. But overall, great from Colombia. They got the win, and that's what matters. They advanced to the round of 32. Next game was I'm not gonna talk a lot about the Croatia game because Croatia didn't do bad. They looked nice when they were counterattacking, but I didn't really I watched them briefly, like the highlights. So I can speak a little bit about them. They weren't, as I said before, they aren't as sharp as they used to be. I feel like the age has really gone to them. But Modric, I mean, it's happy to see him play one last World Cup. And for me, the counterattacking speed, the counterattacking ability is still there, but the speed has gone a little bit slower for me when I'm watching Croatia. But overall, it's a win at the end of the day, and it's important for 3 points. For I can talk a lot about England Ghana because as an English fan, I'm very disappointed from Ghana. Ghana from an England point of view, I did not like this game one bit. For me, it was horrible. They didn't try to go for it with that with the legs of Gordon and Madueke. They were never really threatening in the first half. And in the second half for me, um Gordon the they were just parking the bus for me. They weren't really going for the win. I felt like they kind of looked comfortable to get this result. Really in the last 10, 15 minutes, they maybe started pushing, but even then, it wasn't convincing that they were going to get a goal. So, but what the problem was with all these attackers like Eze Rogers, Rashford, Saka, even Nico O'Reilly at the left back position, I think even though Ghana were playing a low block, I still think they should have used Madueke, or even as a maybe to give 1-2 link ups and try to set them up for 1v1s. For me, for me, there was two important things. One, Kane should have finished the ball in the 84th minute. I mean, it was off the post, and it was it was very close to the goal. Think he should have finished that for me. And the other thing was that England got, I think, in my opinion, lucky because there was a breakaway, and Konsa had a high foot and was blocking the attacker from scoring. So for me, that they kind of got lucky that it didn't be a penalty. So I think they definitely could have walked away with a loss. So overall, from an English point of view, this was horrible. This is not what what we were expecting, especially after the Croatia game. But we'll see next game with England against Panama. On to, I didn't really. I'm gonna talk briefly about Bosnia versus Qatar, because Bosnia for me looked very comfortable in this game. I kind of expected them to win the game as well, but it's a nice finish from number 19. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he got by two players and had a low finesse shot in the bottom right corner. For me, this team Bosnia, I don't they are definitely capable to playing up a level, but at the same time, I don't know if they could. I don't know if the back line can deal with defenders like Balogun and these top players. So from the U.S. side, so I don't know if they're really up. I don't know if they could really handle the test. But overall, overall, great win to make them into the knockout stage. As for Qatar, I mean, I kind of expected this. I wasn't really shocked. They haven't been good all tournament, and yeah. Next is going to be, what's next? No, Brazil versus Scotland. Um, Brazil. I mean, for me, Brazil has been a one-man team with Vinny. Vinny has been scoring the goals, and in this game, I feel like overall the team has gotten a little bit more involved compared to the previous games. I've liked Carlo Ancelotti's decision to drop Igor Thiago and put Cunha in, because Cunha, free roaming striker, kind of knows how to link the ball better with the midfielders and the wingers. So it's a great game. It was a needed win for Brazil to move on, to be the first team to move on to be a first seed. And for me, I don't know about this Brazil defense. I mean, yeah, they do have two of the top defenders in Europe, but I want to see how they would perform against a team like Japan, where Japan can really go for it. And I want to see how much can this defense and midfield can hold up. As for Scotland didn't really impress me. I thought Scotland would play dirty, ugly football to try to get the draw at least, because in their case, they may wanted a point, but still, I think 3 points might get them to the round of 32. As in Morocco versus Haiti, that ga- that game was a little bit different. For Morocco versus Haiti, Morocco was playing a lineup not playing the original starters, but they were testing out the lineup, who would really play for and who wants to be a starter. So for me, there's been a lot proven in this Morocco team. I feel like Al Khabi, that is a European striker, played way below the expectation, and compared to someone that plays in the UAE, Rahimi played so much better. He wanted it more. Rahimi feels like he wants to play for the Morocco team more than Al Khabi. And for me, Brahim Diaz was just off. Off. I mean, yeah, he is this big player that plays for Real Madrid, but he didn't really show something different in this game. He didn't really offer something. And in the midfield, it could show that Amrabat has a heavy touch, doesn't look as comfortable. They looked a little bit worried. And for the center back Hal Hal, they don't they trust more Diop and how important he is to the back line. So for me, it was a it was a team that's being tested and who would really play up for the big game. And overall, great win for it's a good win for Morocco, but the Haiti player, I have to give credit to the Haiti player Isidore, because he scored a screamer outside the box, and that's it for this game. Moving on to Mexico versus Czech Republic. Mexico, even though Mexico looked comfortable and they didn't need to play this game, I feel like this is definitely a confidence booster, and they're on great form. Mexico's definitely been doing great. They're willing to play play attacking football, and yeah, they're doing great overall. The squad looks pretty good, and yeah, they overall great job. They're in their first seed team in the group. But shocker for the tournament so far, one of the shockers of the tournament so far is the South Africa. South Africa just made history by going into the not made history, sorry. South Africa just made a comeback from being from last place in the group to second in the group. South Africa wasn't all that convincing. I mean their attack wasn't crazy, but their defense had very physical players that can hold up the strikers and hold up the strikers and slow the play down. But for me, South Africa really wanted it more, and they got the goal. As in South Korea, they wanted to push in the 75th minute when the game's about to be about to be close to ending. So great result for South Africa, but for South Korea, they should have been pushing and try to get a draw or even a win, because now they're in third place and they're playing an even tougher opponent. Let's move on to let's move on to Ivory Coast versus Curacao. Ivory Coast is one of those teams where they might be making a run in the World Cup. Their squad has been nice. I mean, the wingers Ahmad Diallo and Diomandi are very technical, and they're making plays. They're not afraid for the 1v1. Overall, this team can show that they could compete against the big teams, even though they lost to Germany. It should have been 2-2 if the guy scored in the 88th minute, but they can show that they can compete, and they have shown it before the World Cup that they beat France. So this team definitely has the quality to play up, and overall great job. I mean, they made it in second place over Ecuador. And for Germany, this wasn't great. I mean, this is definitely a bad impression. This is definitely a bad impression, especially for starting Musiala, Wirtz, and Havertz, all top players as well from the from the German lineup. These are all starters, by the way. And for me, Kai Havertz has not been as critical. I feel like Nagelsmann should start Undav over Havertz, but for Ecuador, they played for their lives because they know if they didn't win this game, they'd get knocked out. And for me, Ecuador looked way more comfortable, way more, way more willing to take the risk forward and to push for the win. And yeah, it's a great win for them to be in the round of 32. Next game is going to be Japan, Sweden. For this game, it was a 50-50 for me. It wasn't crazy, but Japan definitely looked a little bit better, not too much better. I don't know if it was just a bad day, but I feel like Japan, yeah, would normally do more than that. Normally would display more attacking football than what they did against Sweden. But overall, the tie is what got them through, and yeah, not a bad result at all. They're doing good so far in the World Cup, and for Sweden, I mean, it's impressive. I mean, for me, I thought I had Sweden losing this game, but honestly, Gyökeres was holding up the play well, and yeah, Alanga was doing great as well with the curling effort and scoring the goal. So this definitely was a stalemate result and benefited both teams. So let's move on to the Netherlands Tunisia. I don't really have to speak much about this game because Tunisia is already out. But for the Netherlands, this was great. I mean, it's the only confidence booster. Basically, they're going for it, trying to keep their confidence high. I don't have much to say, but they're definitely a team that's willing to attack with Somerville and Gakpo, just like in the previous game against Sweden. Paraguay versus Australia. I don't know what happened that game, but nothing happened. Nothing happened that game. It was a 0-0 result. But for Turkey versus USA, I mean, yeah, they didn't. Yeah, USA pulled their stride. We're trying to pull their starters into the lineup by the 60th minute, but this was kind of a different way people would look at this squad now they were because they did so well the first two matches, but to lose in front of your home crowd on the third match day doesn't look good. And 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 for me, even though Turkey didn't didn't do well the first two games, they kind of proved the point that hey, we're gonna give one last thing to the fans. So they gave them a victory, try to play for the victory, and for me, USA definitely are going into this thing be like we need to get that confidence back because this was definitely not a great game for the USA. I mean, Turkey were attacking more, and to get that late winner was very vital. So overall, in this game was that Pochettino didn't want to go for it, didn't really care about this game. But we'll see how they do against Bosnia. And that's it for my World Cup predictions video. And see you YouTube. I'll keep you posted on update number 5 coming out hopefully tomorrow.